Welcome to Glowing Success. I'm Heidi, your host. On this show, we dig into aesthetics, marketing, business strategy, wellness, and iridology. Whether I'm flying solo or sitting down with some incredible guests, this is your space to learn, grow, and build something beautiful. So let's get into this next episode. Welcome back. Tapping into my intuitive gifts looks a little different than I expected. So it started with a headache that didn't really feel like it was mine to feel, if that makes sense. So let me dive in. Here's how my intuitive downloads actually come through. So if you've ever wondered what it's actually like inside my intuitive Reiki session with myself, I want to walk you through it because something happened recently that made me realize I needed to explain this a little better, and I want to go into it, okay? So I went into this recent session expecting a quiet hour of healing energy work. I came out with a full page of notes. My client hadn't told me anything about what was going on in her life or anything at all, really. But by the end, I was like confirming things that she hadn't said to me at all, or even online or anything like that. So this wasn't new though, exactly, right? But it was the most intense I've ever been through. So this session, like some things were familiar because I have been tapping into my intuitive gifts already. So since my training recently with Reiki, I've noticed that I've also had some downloads happening more and more when I'm doing Reiki. So I'm getting more intuitive alongside me channeling. And it's part of why I'm offering energy services now. So, I'm kind of realizing the gift probably was always there. I just wasn't paying attention to it because now things are like making more sense. So here's what I noticed and how it actually comes through for me. So first, it's a feeling, right? So something that I just feel, a knowing basically that like lands in my brain or like in my body before I even can explain it. Then words start popping into my head. So all of a sudden I'll just have words pop in and they're very quick and they're very subtle and they're very like I'm hearing my own thoughts. And then I have visuals pop up. So I'll just like see something randomly or it'll just be quick as well. And sometimes I'll have like one of these, sometimes I'll have a combination. But during this recent session, I had all of them. So, and if you can imagine, I'm still kind of second guessing this, right? Like I'm still getting used to my intuitive stuff. I'm still getting used to everything that I'm doing. But I have to also like think about it more because, there's things that are confirming these things. So after that session was done, I went over my notes. I asked her like, hey, would you want to go over the notes that I took? It's up to you. We totally can not do it. I can email this to you. It's up to you. And so she was like, yeah, let me hear. And so all of the things that came up, she was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, wow, you knew this and that, there's so many things. So, but one of the things that stood out to me that I knew I should be paying attention to my intuitive gifts while her session was going on is I actually almost immediately into the session, I started getting a slight headache on the left side of my head, a very particular spot on my head too, like kind of towards the front. And it wasn't something that I walked into the session with. So I did not have a headache when I walked into that session. But as I kept channeling with her, as I kept meditating, as I kept doing the thing that I do, it actually lifted like about midway through our session. And that's when I actually knew this wasn't mine to hold. I didn't, that wasn't mine. It was actually information maybe moving through me for her, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that's why, I'm actually probably going to be changing the name of my Reiki sessions to intuitive Reiki sessions because I can't help but kind of get these intuitive downloads. I think, maybe that's something I can fine tune in the future too. But right now, it's like they come to me and I write them down. And I find that a lot of people are interested in what comes up. So why not go into into the session with that? But I want to be honest with you. I am still learning the language of my own intuition and my own downloads. So I'm paying attention to it now. I'm, really dialing in, really tapping in, so to speak. So, I'm going to be continuing to learn what that looks like for me and, really continuing to see what it can do for others. Okay. If you would like to experience an intuitive Reiki session for yourself with me, I would love to schedule that with you. So I will leave details in the show notes of how to do that. Well, thank you for going on this journey with me, and thank you for listening.